They say you need to fit in to be successful, but what if I told you that being different might be your ticket to greatness? The world has often misunderstood the geniuses among us, only to later realize the extraordinary value they bring. Today we look at 5 outcasts who defy the odds to rule the world.
Our first outcast is none other than Elon Musk, a man who has been seen as an oddball for much of his life. From his early years growing up in South Africa, Elon was often described as introverted and lost in his thoughts, dreaming about futures and worlds that most couldn't even fathom. He was bullied in school, further isolating him from his peers. Despite this, Musk was a voracious reader and was fascinated by science fiction and comic books. He taught himself programming at a young age and even sold a game he coded himself when he was just 12. But these were not typical interests of the boys around him, contributing to his outcast status. When Musk later moved to the United States to attend university, his eccentricities followed him. However, it was at Stanford and later in Silicon Valley that his unique perspective and dogged determination began to show their value. He dropped out of Stanford after 2 days to pursue a business in the burgeoning internet industry, a risky move that paid off handsomely when Compaq bought his startup Zip2 for $307 million. However, Musk was just getting started. His vision was far greater than anything the internet industry could contain. With the fortune he had amassed, he founded SpaceX with the goal of reducing the cost of getting to space and making life multiplanetary. He also became the CEO of Tesla Motors, aiming to expedite the move from a mine-and-burn hydrocarbon economy towards a solar electric economy. Both of these ventures faced significant challenges and skepticism. Many considered them to be overambitious pipe dreams. Musk's leadership style and public persona were also under intense scrutiny and often criticized. But despite the odds, Musk remained steadfast. Today, Musk's eccentricities are seen as his strengths. He stands at the helm of companies like SpaceX, Tesla, and Neuralink, continuously pushing the boundaries of what's possible in technology, transportation, and space exploration. His early life as an outcast did not hinder him, but instead fueled his unique perspective and drive to innovate. Despite being seen as an oddball, Elon Musk has managed to rule the tech and space world, changing the way we see technology and our future.
At number 2, we have Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein, the genius mind behind the theory of relativity, didn't always fit in. In fact, his early life was marked by a sense of not belonging, a sense of being the odd one out. Einstein was born in Germany in 1879, and from a young age he was known for his insatiable curiosity and slow language development. He didn't speak until he was 4 years old and didn't fluidly until he was 9, which led to early concerns about his intellectual capabilities. This, coupled with his disdain for rote learning and rigid school structures, often put him at odds with his educators and peers. Einstein's years spent working at a Swiss patent office after graduating university were ones of isolation and disconnect. Stifled by a job he was overqualified for and uninterested in, Einstein found solace in his thought experiments. It was during these years of solitude that he began developing his groundbreaking theories. Despite facing rejection and ridicule, Einstein published 4 revolutionary papers in 1905, tackling the photoelectric effect, Brownian motion, special relativity, and the equivalence of mass and energy. These papers, now known as his Annus Mirabilis papers, revolutionized the world of physics. However, they were initially met with skepticism from the scientific community. Many couldn't comprehend the groundbreaking ideas he was proposing. Despite the resistance and backlash, Einstein remained committed to his theories, which were gradually accepted as groundbreaking contributions to theoretical physics. Einstein's name became synonymous with genius, and he won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. Einstein's story is one of a true outcast, someone who dared to think differently, even when the world wasn't ready for his ideas. His life serves as a reminder that being different isn't a barrier to success. Rather, it is often the prerequisite for it. In being an outcast, Einstein found his unique perspective, one that would shape our understanding of the physical world and make him one of the greatest minds in history.
Number 3 on the list is Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple Inc., was known for his eccentric personality and unconventional approach to life. From his early years, Jobs was always the odd one out, not quite fitting in, and yet forging his path. Steve Jobs was born in 1955 in San Francisco and was adopted by a blue-collar couple from Mountain View, California. He enrolled at Reed College in Portland, Oregon, only to drop out after 6 months. Jobs continued auditing classes at Reed while sleeping on the floor in friends' rooms, returning Coke bottles for food money, and getting weekly free meals at the local Hare Krishna temple. Jobs started Apple with Steve Wozniak in his parents' garage in 1976. They worked tirelessly, with Jobs selling his Volkswagen bus and Wozniak his scientific calculator to raise the capital for their first order. It was here that Apple I was born. Jobs' unorthodox methods and relentless pursuit of perfection often put him at odds with others, leading to his removal from Apple in 1985. However, his intense focus on design and user experience led to the creation of some of the most iconic products in history, including the Macintosh, iPhone, iPod, and iPad. After founding Next and acquiring Pixar, Jobs returned to Apple in 1997 and led one of the greatest corporate turnarounds in history. However, his management style was still unorthodox and challenging, often pushing people out of their comfort zones to achieve the extraordinary. Despite the challenges and setbacks, Jobs remained undeterred. In his famous Stanford commencement address, he talked about the importance of loving what you do and not settling. This message encapsulated his approach to life and business, constantly striving for excellence and thinking differently. Jobs' life was a testament to the power of thinking differently and not fitting the mold. He was an outcast who changed the world with his vision, reminding us that being different is often a gateway to innovation and creativity. It's not about fitting in, it's about standing out and making a difference.
At number 4, we have Socrates.
Ancient Greece was home to many brilliant minds, but one stood out from the rest. Socrates, an eccentric yet profound philosopher, was an outcast in the truest sense. He didn't fit the norm of Athenian society and chose a path that was drastically different. Socrates didn't write any philosophical texts. His teachings were instead passed down through the writings of his students, most notably Plato. Instead of sharing wisdom from a lofty pedestal, he was known to engage common folks in the marketplace, his Socratic questioning forcing them to reconsider their unexamined beliefs. His methods and teachings were not always well received, especially among the elite. He had a reputation for questioning traditional beliefs and values, something which attracted the youth but drew ire from the elders. His questioning of authority and the status quo eventually led to his trial and execution, an end that he met with an unflinching commitment to his principles. Charged with impiety and corrupting the youth, Socrates chose not to flee when given the opportunity, instead accepting the hemlock cup. His belief in the sanctity of his philosophical mission was such that he chose death over compromise. Socrates has left an indelible mark on the world of philosophy. His courage to stand apart and question established norms holds lessons for all outcasts. His life shows that conformity isn't the only way to lead a significant life. Today, Socrates is hailed as one of the fathers of Western philosophy. His method of questioning to seek deeper truths continues to influence philosophical thought. He remains a beacon of courage and integrity, reminding us that societal acceptance isn't the only measure of a life well lived. Being an outcast allowed Socrates to contribute to society in ways that might not have been possible otherwise. He challenged the conventional wisdom of his time and helped lay the foundations for philosophical thought for generations to come. His life is a testament to the power and potential of the outcast to make significant changes in society.
At number 5, we have Kanye West.
Kanye West, one of the most influential artists of the 21st century, also falls into the category of outcasts. A music producer turned rapper turned fashion designer, West has been notorious for not fitting into any particular box. Born in Atlanta and raised in Chicago, West started his journey in the music industry as a producer. Despite his success in that role, his dream was always to be a rapper.
I was always rapping. And it just so happened that really, really phenomenal rappers got to rap on my beats before I got a chance to. So that pushed me into the classification of a producer. But I'm a rapper from the heart.
However, his style didn't fit the gangster rap archetype prevalent during the early 2000s. West's style was different, introspective, vulnerable, and blending in elements of soul and electronic music. Initially, his approach was met with skepticism. However, his debut album, The College Dropout, changed the perception, charting a unique path in the rap genre. As his music career soared, West made headlines with his unpredictable behavior, public outbursts, and controversial statements. His willingness to voice his unfiltered thoughts and push boundaries drew both admiration and criticism. Kanye's personal life, marked by his struggles with mental health, has been under public scrutiny, further deepening his outcast status. Yet, in spite of this, he has used his platform to open up conversations about mental health, particularly in the African American community. His entry into the fashion world was yet another venture that highlighted his outcast status. Kanye West's journey demonstrates the power of perseverance, creativity, and authentic self-expression. Being an outcast has allowed West to redefine cultural trends and shift paradigms, influencing music, fashion, and more. West's story serves as a reminder that being an outcast is not a roadblock, but a launchpad for extraordinary success. It allows the freedom to defy expectations, disrupt norms, and leave a lasting impact on the world. Kanye West, the Outcast, has used his distinctive voice to create his own path, highlighting the potential for Outcasts to rule the world. His story of success amid constant criticism and obstacles is a testament to his resilience and a source of inspiration for anyone who feels like an outsider.
These outcasts didn't let the world define them. Instead, they embraced their unique perspectives and changed the world. Maybe being an outcast isn't such a bad thing. Maybe it's a sign that you're meant for something bigger. So, will you conform or will you change the world?